Have you ever been in that place where nothing makes sense anymore? Where you're trying your best, you keep showing up and trying, but life keeps knocking you down? Did you see that exact moment where this happens? That's when faith begins. Not when you have answers, but when you choose to keep going without them. Faith to me is very important. It's the missing puzzle that I feel like a lot of men nowadays and people kind of mistakenly don't include in their journey. Because as a human being, when you're trying to go on this journey of reinventing yourself, think about it, you're reinventing yourself, right? So there's pieces that you don't have yet. So that's where faith comes in. There's some skills that you didn't develop yet. There's some aspects of your personality you didn't develop yet. And the real meaning of faith, and when I speak about faith, for me, it's two things. It's really trusting in the unseen and religion. So I'll be able to talk a bit more about the religion side because it's something that helped me a lot in my journey, my journey of becoming a bit better than what I was yesterday. And faith is believing in something you can't see yet, in your purpose, right? In your growth, your future. It's trusting that every setback is setting you up for something better. Faith can be kind of delusional in a sort of way. But I'll give you an example. When Conor McGregor went up before fighting Jose Aldo, who was one of the best at his time, and kept saying, I'm going to beat him in the first round. I'm going to beat him in a spectacular way. I'm going to beat him in the first 15 seconds. Everyone was saying this is delusion, but that was faith from his side. And with so much conviction in his faith, he was able to get it actually done. And it's very important for you to understand that you need that delusion in your journey. Because once again, you're trying to do something that you haven't done before. You can't have the same imagination, the same way of looking at stuff. You kind of need that delusional faith in stuff that's going to work out. Even the people who say they don't believe in anything, they wake up and they try again. That's faith too. Even if they don't believe in God, they're still having a bad day, going to sleep and saying, you know what? I'll wake up tomorrow. It has to get better. Even if it's delusion, even if it's not going to get better. Wouldn't you rather have a positive perception on stuff? Wouldn't you rather have a positive outlook on stuff? I'll give you an example. Whenever I went to Jiu-Jitsu in the first couple of classes, I kept getting, let's say it very nicely, I kept getting beaten. And the thing is, I kept having this delusional faith that I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing this. Every setback is God teaching me the exact locks and keys that were going to hurt me in the future. The moves that are going to hurt me. And then I always saw it as feedback. Faith helps you turn every loss into feedback. Because when you have faith in something, you're not just attaching yourself to the end goal. You're attaching yourself to the journey. You have faith in the journey. You have faith in yourself walking that journey. So everything becomes a win. I'll give you an example. Let's say I do end up winning a Jiu-Jitsu championship. Amazing. I got to do exactly what I wanted, right? To win something big. And if I don't, then it's God telling me that through losing this, you're going to develop a key skill that is so important for the greater purpose I'm giving to you. True, there might be no greater purpose, but wouldn't you rather walk with faith, walk with so much conviction in what you're doing, walk with so much conviction in everything that's going around you, rather than just tell yourself, oh, I'm just losing. Faith is very important when doubt creeps in. There are days you'll feel like everything you do is pointless. You'll question yourself, your path, even your worth. This is part of the reason why I did this channel. Sometimes, like, I'll give you an honest example. Right now, I was sitting on my bed and I was asking myself, why am I doing all of this? Why am I putting so much rules on myself? Why am I putting so much, tracking my macros, going to the gym, doing insane workouts, stopping caffeine, for example, because I found out that it can maybe be a challenge for me to work out without caffeine. Why am I challenging myself? Why am I doing all these things? And here it comes, faith. I remembered I told myself, you're doing this because you have a higher purpose. You have a goal. You have a calling from God. And even if I don't have this calling from God, this is another argument that I like. It's like, if God doesn't exist and he pushed you hypothetically, even while not existing, to become a better person, to being nice to people and everything, and God did exist at the end of the day in a sort of paradoxical way. Because if If your passion, your faith got you to become better and everything, even if it didn't give you exactly what you wanted, that faith played such an important part in you becoming better than what you were. And once again, you're human. It's okay to lose faith. It's okay to have moments where it's up and down. Sometimes I struggle a bit with my faith, with my religion even. Sometimes I feel like I'm very close to God. Sometimes I feel like in this busyness of life that I forgot God in a way. And the very important thing is to contrast doubt and surrender. To understand exactly what are you going through. The difference between those who make it and those who don't, it's just one simple thing. One chooses to move through the doubt, and that's what faith looks like in action. I promise you, every single winner you've seen has failed 1,000 times. 1,000 times. We'll go on the example of Conor McGregor, as I mentioned him before. He lost a lot of fights. Do you think that Conor, every single time he woke up, he had an amazing day, amazing workout and everything? And even if he did, it was built on years of having to fear not being able to pay the rent, of having fears and doubts and lessons and L after L after L. So that's why it's so important to understand one key aspect. If you keep trying through faith, you will reach your goals no matter what. I'll give you an example. Let's say you want to become a champion in jiu-jitsu. For the average person, it might take them 6 months to win their first tournament, let's call it, okay? And get that medal and be happy. Let's say for you, it didn't take 6 months. With faith, if you have genuine faith, you're going to tell yourself, you know what? I needed this L. I needed to learn more. You go back to the gym. You work again. And again. Even if it takes a year, 2, 3, at the end, if you keep telling yourself, I have faith in my project, I have faith in myself, you're going to reach. I have faith in the grand scheme of things. You're going to reach your goals. It's statistically impossible in some cases. If you keep showing up and you keep putting in the work on a long period, life has this way of rewarding you. They call it luck. I call it life paying you back what you are owed. And there's a huge bridge between effort and outcome. Faith is what fills the gap between them. Because you can control stuff and there's stuff that you can't control, right? Faith is what fills the gap between these two. You do your part, you give your best, and then you let go. That's how peace starts. That's once again faith. Because if you're so caught up with your goals and you're so attached to the outcome, you're never going to be able to reach it in a peaceful manner. I'll give you an example once again. With the jiu-jitsu example, I do my part. I show up to training. I eat well. I go to the gym. I show up. I get beaten. I stand up again and I show up. I do my part. I know by faith and conviction that what I want will come eventually. Right now, the best I can do is let go of the outcome and understand that with faith in my project, it's gonna happen. Sometimes what you call luck is really grace. What you call timing is really purpose. And even if you don't believe in God, let's say you believe in karmic energies, the universe has a way of rewarding every single person who works hard. Every single person who works hard gets rewarded. And I've seen this in my life in so many different scenarios. I've been showing up the past 3, 4, 5 months every single day, even when I didn't feel like it and everything. And I kept telling myself through faith that I know why I'm doing this. Eventually it's going to get better. And to my surprise, it not only got better, I genuinely am very proud of the person I became. I'm genuinely very proud of the idea of who I became, the strength I've showed myself, the proof that I've always been able to show up even when I didn't feel like it, even when my life was falling apart and everything. Do you know why? Because I had faith in the project. I had faith in the process. I had faith that God won't let me show up every day and still let me be hurt and still let me be broken. Even if it's going to take a year, even if it's going to take 2 years. Pain builds faith. Pain has a way of teaching faith like nothing else. Every time life breaks you, it's also shaping you. Every disappointment carves out space for something so much better. And sometimes the delay is the divine protection. Sometimes the no is the redirection you needed to get to your true purpose. I can't stand here and just say that I've never lost in my life. I was a loser and I am still going to be a loser in some situations. I'm going to lose. you are undoubtedly gonna lose, whether in love, in relationships, with your friends, family, in your business, in your grades, in your job, you're gonna lose. Running away from losing is gonna cause you to never take any risk, and you're gonna stay in a very like boring trajectory of life. If you want greatness, go run after it, bite it with your teeth. Keep running after it, even if you're gonna lose 1,000 times. And that's what I did. I chose faith every single day, even when everything looked so bad. And I remember after my breakup, when I had problems at my job, when I got injuries in jiu-jitsu, when I got beaten so badly in jiu-jitsu by people that weight literally less than me, I told myself, I'm choosing faith again. Faith isn't a one-time choice. It's something you renew every morning, every hour, every minute, every second. When you wake up tired but still show up. When you fall and get back again and you still do it. Whether you call it faith, hope, or belief, it's what keeps your soul alive. And an alive soul is gonna let you touch everything you've ever wanted. I promise you, us humans, we're limited by nothing. By nothing. God, in the Quran, there's a saying where God says, I won't change what's in people until they change what's in themselves. If God himself is telling you, you can change everything about yourself. Why can't you just wake up today and say, you know what, I'm not happy with the way my life is going, I'm gonna fix it out of love for myself. Don't hate yourself into change. That doesn't even make sense. You can never bully someone into changing. You can only tell yourself, you know what, I have a soul, I have a physically healthy body, I have potential. I can do it if I put myself to the test. I'll give you an example. Jiu-Jitsu, I didn't know anything about Jiu-Jitsu a couple months back, right? And I'm still very in my early stages. But I refuse to believe that Jiu-Jitsu is some sort of talent that's only prohibited to the people that have been doing it since they were 5 years old. Okay, they might have time over me, but I have faith. I have faith that I wanted more than them. I have faith that I'm going to show up every single day. They're going to show up when they feel like it. They're going to show up when it's good. I'm going to show up every single day, even when I'm broken, even when my life is going to shit. I'm going to show up for myself. And that's why it's so important. You don't need to see the whole path. You will never see the whole path. As humans, we think that some sort of way God is going to talk to you and tell you, okay, this is exactly what I'm trying to do with you. Not at all. You don't need to see the whole path. You know who you are. Just have faith that the next step is going to be the right one. You keep taking the next step. Even if after 50 steps you realize it was the wrong route, so what? You take another route and you keep going again and again and again. As long as you're not being a coward and still standing up and having faith in yourself, you can never lose. And you will never lose. Faith doesn't promise an easy life. Not at all. It promises a meaningful one. And once again, there's no shame in anything you want to do. Anything. If you want to dance as a guy, if as a girl you want to do jiu-jitsu, you are not bound by gender norms or whatever. This bullshit that they try to feed us nowadays. Just be true to yourself. Do you go to sleep at night and say, you know what, I've tried my best today, even if it didn't look like it, even if all you did was stand up and do the dishes? That is meaningful for some people. Some people are fighting depression. They're fighting huge burdens in life. Remember, as long as you're proud of yourself every single night, as long as you have faith in yourself that it's going to get better for you, you will never lose. And if you ever feel alone, just remember, something bigger is guiding you, even in the silence. And I promise you that, whether you believe in God or the universe, we all have a purpose. Our soul yearns for purpose. I promise you guys. And I've been at the first-hand experience of this. I remember before, when I was going through life in a sort of different way where I won't say even challenging myself, because I've always challenged myself, but now when I took this different approach to bettering myself, I feel like I have a meaningful life. Even if, once again, I'm not doing something great. Maybe all the stuff that I'm doing, for someone else, it might be normal, it might be the average. But for me, I'm proud of myself because I know where I was. I know who I am. I know who I was. As long as I get to sleep each night and say, Mahmoud, I showed up. I showed up today. I don't care. Even if it was by just cooking a meal, I showed up today. If every day I show up, in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to win. Impossible for me to lose if I keep showing up every single day. Remember, faith will never show you the direct path. It will show you that you are capable of walking whatever path life throws at you. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.